There are so many things happening all the time, happening in Northwest Arkansas. And today is no different. Today we're covering the top 4 major things happening in NWA, and one of them actually includes a big shout out to Bentonville in a very famous actual nature magazine. So let's talk about that. Hey everybody, if you don't know who I am, my name is Phillip Shepard. I'm a local real estate agent located right here in Northwest Arkansas. If you weren't aware, I actually was a real estate broker located in the dumpster fire, the horrible, the no good state of Illinois, the worst. Anyways, I could have moved anywhere I wanted to in America. I could have moved to Huntsville, I could have moved to Tennessee, Kentucky, Florida, Colorado, Arizona, anywhere I wanted to in America, but I chose Northwest Arkansas. And it is by far the best place to live in America, by far. If you ever want to talk about why I chose Northwest Arkansas versus anywhere else in America, call me, text me, let's meet up for coffee and talk about, again, why Northwest Arkansas is, again, the best place to live in America, by far. So without further ado, let's jump right into the content. All right, and the first thing we need to cover happening in Northwest Arkansas is a brand new wine shop opening up in Bentonville, Arkansas. Now, the unique thing with this is that there's not a lot of, like, let's say, wine shops in Northwest Arkansas. There's vineyards and stuff like that, but this is actually a wine shop, highly curated. The actual owners have about 15 years experience in the wine business, so they know exactly what they're doing. But there's also gonna be jams, spices, and all sorts of other things that are gonna be part of this actual shop. The fun thing about this is not only is kind of like, we'll say, a business, but it's actually kind of tucked away in a more residential section of Bentonville. They're gonna call it the Cellar on B Street, which is, it's on B Street in Bentonville, classic. But regardless, these kind of unique shops are becoming more and more common in Bentonville, in Fayetteville, in Rogers, etc. Maybe 5 years ago, we didn't necessarily see that happening, but as time have moved on, more people have moved here, and obviously unique people with unique skill sets have moved here, and they're like, you know what? Let's open up a literal cellar or literal wine shop in Bentonville. So again, exciting to see these things. They're gonna be offering more than just wine, a bunch of other stuff as well. So definitely check them out when you actually get into town, because it's kind of a good experience. It's kind of fun. Hats off to the people that are like living down the road, because they're like, let's go to the cellar today. So I can imagine that's a very common thing that's gonna be happening. So regardless of all that, definitely check them out when you get into town. And the second crazy thing happening in Northwest Arkansas is that Campfire Ranch in Bella Vista is kind of an Airbnb, finally opened up to the public just recently. So a little bit of backstory. Campfire Ranch is actually kind of a, we'll say, a crossbreed of some people out of Colorado that wanted to open up a Airbnb, and also some Walton-backed money through Blue Crane. Campfire is actually an older house, and they redid everything, made it a great experience. But these things are becoming more popular inside of Bella Vista, just because Bella Vista is becoming more of like a Vail, Colorado, and I use that term loosely because Vail is what Vail is, and Silverton is what Silverton is, and all those, like, it's very Colorado-esque. And so when you have those experiences, when you have, you know, the mountain biking and the trail systems and the closeness of Bentonville, it becomes very, let's say, Colorado-esque. Obviously the snow and probably the elevation, obviously. But I digress. Bella Vista does have that kind of Pacific Northwest and also Colorado feel. That's why these things are becoming more and more popular. There's been a lot of people and a lot of businesses that have been looking, obviously from Colorado, and actually looking to build similar things inside of Bella Vista. So you're gonna see more of these things coming up more. I would consider higher end Airbnbs for different experiences, because there will be people that come from Arizona, that come from Idaho, that come from California, that aren't necessarily going to always want to go to Colorado, and they stop over in Bella Vista, Arkansas, and for vacation, with the lakes and the rivers and renting boats, and obviously with all the trail system, everything else that comes with Bella Vista, it makes a lot of sense. So having these Airbnbs established here is going to make a lot of sense. Obviously, Walton-backed adventures always, you know, are always a thing. So adding that to the mix as well becomes easier for them to sustain it long term. But regardless of all that, the Campfire Ranch is open up inside of Bella Vista. Definitely check out the website and see if there's something you might want to go check out when you're in town. Whoa, 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 whoa. I made something for you. I made something called 3-day itineraries. So maybe you're looking to check this place out. Maybe you're looking to see if it is the best place to live in America. Secret, it is. I made 3-day itineraries. So maybe you're an adventurer, maybe you're a sports person, maybe you're a foodie, maybe you're a sightseer, maybe you have kids, whatever it is. I have 3-day itineraries linked below. So definitely download them and use them when you get down here. Also, you might be using things like Realtor.com, Zillow.com, or Redfin. Way too slow. Notifications, way too slow. That's why I made something called Instant Home Updates. It sounds exactly what it is, literally. So enter your information below: names, bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage. Where do you want to move to in Northwest Arkansas? Enter all the information below and make sure you don't miss a single notification when it comes to home for sale or for rent, all in Northwest Arkansas. Also, every single Friday, I send an email just talking about all the cool things happening in Northwest Arkansas. What's going on downtown Bentonville? What's going on in Fayetteville? What's going on First Thursdays? When's First Fridays? What's going on downtown Rogers? What's going on in Pinnacle? There are so many things all the time happening in Northwest Arkansas. Enter your name and email below and make sure you get that email every single Friday. But I need you to be aware, you will get a little fear of missing out, a little FOMO, so to speak, but I promise you will be the most informed person eventually when you make your way down to Northwest Arkansas. And the third crazy thing happening in Northwest Arkansas, and this is gonna be, you're gonna be like, why are you even talking about this? But the actual front of our airport is like officially done. You're thinking like, what is wrong? Who cares? Who gives a rip? So XNA is the airport local to Northwest Arkansas, and it has grown exponentially in the last, like, we'll say 5 to 10 years. Like, we're talking people riding in there, like flights and everything else. But regardless of all that, they've needed a massive, we'll say, makeover for a while now, and they are finally getting it. They started about 2 years ago. The front is actually done now, so I was just actually through there about 2 weeks ago. It looks beautiful. The interior is going really well. The end goal for a lot of this, if I'm being honest, is to actually get bigger airplanes, obviously bigger things inside the actual strip themselves, meaning Southwest, bigger flights, eventually 747s, etc., etc., etc. They actually do have the land for it. They have not actually developed and made a plan for an actual long enough strip for that, but I know that's gonna be in the works at some point. So again, when these things are coming down the pipeline for XNA, definitely come in. You're gonna see a brand new relaxation center, new restaurants, new everything happening in XNA, especially if you're flying in, of course. But one other thing is interesting when it comes to XNA is just the actual quickness of the improvements being done to the area. Now, this is more me, but I obviously came from Chicago, and things took forever when it came to getting things done, like any sort of FAA, all those different things, governmental stuff. But XNA is able to move much quicker and much faster and get things done at a better rate, which always makes it great because obviously it costs less money, which is awesome. Regardless of all that, when you're coming into Northwest Arkansas and flying, definitely take a few minutes to kind of notice that is almost like a brand new airport in some experiences. And the fourth and final crazy thing happening in Northwest Arkansas is actually the fact that the Travel and Leisure magazine just announced that Bentonville, they said Bentonville is a premier location for any sort of outdoor recreation and also mountain biking. They also noticed the culinary and art scene local in Bentonville is quite better than other places in America, between Crystal Bridges and the Momentary and all the even things happening in Fayetteville, and obviously all the different events happening across there beyond just those core things. It makes a big difference inside of the ranking system to make Bentonville even higher. So again, they really focused on the fact that if you're looking for that fall, even winter vacation, to get outdoors, to enjoy it, and to have a great outdoor experience, either mountain biking or just hanging out, Bentonville is one of their premier destinations. You're gonna see this more often as the time clicks along. We've had a lot of this in the past where magazines have obviously praised Bentonville for its outdoor recreation and the almost like hallmark experience. Regardless of all that, you're gonna see these things happening more and more where Bentonville, even Fayetteville and other parts of Northwest Arkansas are featured heavily in sort of magazines, blogs, YouTube videos, CNN, Fox, all these big networks are becoming more and more common coming to Northwest Arkansas because of the fact that they are obviously being put on the map with all the things happening here. So if you are coming into town, if you see, obviously if you see cameras flying around or drones sometimes or magazine stuff, just know that Bentonville has been doing a great job of actually putting itself on the radar. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. Again, if you have not been down to Northwest Arkansas quite yet, I made something called the NWA Starter Pack. Sounds exactly what it is, literally a package full of all the cool things in Northwest Arkansas. It comes with a 120-page guide, literally a guide of all the things you want to know about Northwest Arkansas. Education, systems, anything, all the cool things to do here. Comes with that guide. Plus, it comes with the 3-day itineraries, which I mentioned before, and it comes with postcards, everything you want to know about Northwest Arkansas, and it comes with a handy-dandy Northwest Arkansas coloring book. Do it for the coloring book. I mean, come on now. Anyways, it's a literal package, literally shipped right to your home. Enter your name and address below. I'll make sure to get that package shipped to you right away. Also, side note, it does come with your first free mountain bike, so that's pretty cool. And I know what you're thinking. It is my favorite filler F word. Free! So enter your information below and make sure to get that package shipped to you right away. All right, guys, I'll see you next one.